Hi, today is August the 5th, 2021, and I will be doing a reading on Laura Ingraham. Something just lured me to her. So you know how it is sometimes when I get those odd lures to look at people that I just really don't care for, like Matt Gaetz, like DeSantis. Well, Laura's definitely one of them. I do not like to go out of my way, but Spirit's pulling me there. So I'm going to honor that, and I'm just going to ask Spirit what they want to share about Laura Ingraham. She's she's Fox News's Ann Coulter with short hair. Really abrasive, unpleasant person. And looking at her chart, she has an interesting chart. She has got a load of Gemini in there. A load. Her, there was no time, so I'm not sure what her rising sign or ascendant sign is, but her moon is in Gemini. Her sun is in Gemini, and there's a lot of other planets that are all in Gemini with this woman. It's pretty stunning. So while I'm shuffling, getting ready, let me just start by saying she was born June 19th, 1963, from what I can found as a consensus. Her sun is in Gemini, her moon is in Gemini, her Mars is in Virgo, her Pluto is in Virgo, her birth path is 8, her Chinese horoscope, but sign is a water rabbit, and her Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius, as well as Neptune is retrograde in Scorpio. Her also her Venus and Merc are also Gemini. She is the single mother. She's adopted 3 children of color. She's dated, among the people she has dated is that Denise D'Souza, another real winner. And she also, for a brief time, dated Keith Olbermann in 1998. But it doesn't seem like her relationships really work out. So let's just see. What the cards want to share about Laura Ingraham. She will show up most definitely as a Queen of Swords. Okay. What I want to know is, has she had trouble to maintain relationships because of her attitude? She's just got a real mean spirit. I don't like it. You know, it's just like Ann Coulter, mean-spirited. Just like Sean Hannity and Tucker, although I replaced that T with an F, Carlson. Just, again, people that have a mean spirit, they really do. There's a meanness to them. A mendacity. So does her mendacity affect her relationships? Because it's just so noted. This card, no, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. So I just want to see what we get. Laura Ingraham. What's up with the relationships, Laura? Are you just too mean to keep them? Let's put a little astringent sunlight on her. She's so ready to quote-unquote expose people and paint them with her lies. But in this case, I just want to expose her for who she is and for whatever the universe, the creator, wants to share about her. What do we need to know about her? And I'm asking, and specifically, I'm curious about her relationships, because it's strange looking at her pattern. But maybe it's really not about that. But she just seems so mean-spirited. I'm curious, so I'm asking. Let's see what the cards show. What covers her is the Emperor. This, I straight up, and I feel like I'm kind of tuning into her higher, not really her, necessarily her higher self, I don't know, but definitely some part of her conscience, because I heard her say, I like older men. But there's father issues as well. Now, the key word on this deck, and this deck, I'm blanking on the name of it, but I'll get it and put it for you in the description box after I get the video up, is focus. I also feel that she's definitely very aware and perhaps a bit uncomfortable where her situation with a male companion is concerned. It feels like this could be indicating that there's father issues because she's covered by the Emperor. She's still trying to please Daddy, is what I get. By acting like how she thinks he would approve, saying things, trying to be that person. Okay. I have no idea. I have no idea what her relationship with her dad was like. I have no idea. Yeah, I get a domineering type of father. And this is what she's projecting, is her own ideal father. And maybe she, I don't know, maybe she put her dad up on a pedestal. I'm not sure. Maybe she was Daddy's girl. I'm not sure. Or maybe she wanted to be. But one thing's for darn sure. There's this, it feels like the cards are indicating with this very strong male card and the card of what can be enduring and being very domineering. I'm feeling like her father was very domineering, and it was an imprint left on her. Much like the imprint of the teeth of this lion will leave a little mark on the lady's face here a little bit. But it won't break the skin. So I feel like this is saying her father, or an ideal type of father figure, is something that still holds relevance in how she is and who she is and what motivates her. It's like she wants to become like her father. So there's some want of that because she thinks that is strong. But I think it also comes down to wanting that approval. Now, the basis card is the Wheel of Fortune, which is, changes This is cycles of change and growth. And I believe most definitely a karmic situation. But, and by saying that, I mean that behavior and conduct, that what you put out in the world is going to affect what you draw in. I'm getting the sense that she's so domineering at this point, now that she's older, that I don't think that there's really room for another person. They just would get on her nerves. And I feel like that's what happened with her last relationship, and most definitely, I think, with her relationship with the Dinesh. Dream. The Six of Cups. Yeah, she lives in the past. This is childhood. This is wanting Dad's attention, wanting to be the one that Dad took time for. And I don't know if this was her father in the King of Cups, or it could have been somebody actually that she was seeing maybe last. Possibly a water sign. But I'll know more when I look at the other cards. Now, her near future, she's got the High Priestess. She's got a lot of secrets here, folks, that she once kept quiet about her personal relationships. I think she's very protective. And there are some things that go back to her past that are secrets that she's keeping quiet. I think about her family, and maybe even about her own father. Maybe things that are less than this ideal father that she's made him out to be. Feels something like that. And about just how domineering he really was. And it wasn't necessarily that great that he was like that. This could even be a brother. I don't know. I don't know anything about her family. I don't know if she was an only child. I don't know. But this is, I'm being shown a male figure, and I feel like her relationships don't work well because of how she patterns herself after her own father. And I got the feeling like it can be hard for men to be in a relationship with her because of that. She's so domineering. She's too controlling and tries to call all the shots, make all, it. I think she treats a man the way a man treats many, that many men treat women of a certain era. I think she's patterned, again, herself after a father figure. But it turns out that there are some things that she's would rather not have come out about. I think both her family relationship and I don't think she wants people nosing around, asking questions about her life other than than the ideal that she wants to give them about growing up. But the truth is, it wasn't all ideal. And she just doesn't want to admit that. With this, with this King of Cups, it even if her dad isn't a water sign or wasn't a water sign, it can indicate that this could be an emotional issues, that she handles emotions like her father did. And I don't know about, she doesn't seem to me like she's necessarily someone that drinks a lot, but I think her dad was. I think she's actually pretty rigid in what she does every day and how she lives. That way she may not have been taken up, but she still patterned herself after somebody potentially. And again, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is an entertainment channel. This is a card reading. But this, to me, the way it's so close to these other cards, can talk about a dad that had emotional problems with his emotional nature. In her opinion, one way or another. There were some issues there. Maybe he was too reserved, or may have been very controlled unless he drank. There could be issues where even if she doesn't drink, that she's patterned herself after somebody like a dry drunk. Now, again, her dad may have been sober as a judge. Well, most judges I know actually weren't terribly sober. And I have known people within the law, that law community. My mom went to law school in Kansas, and I got to know a lot of people throughout from her connections. But you get what I'm saying. This could be kind of benign. It could be something that's trying to, and I do feel like it's trying to say something about somebody being very in touch with their emotions, being very real, but instead being, I think, very traditionally masculine in their kind of toxic way of not dealing with it. But more to the point with Laura Ingraham, she lives in the past. With the Wheel of Fortune and the card of the past, the Six of Cups, emotionally she's invested in the past. Her heart is in the past. And her spirit really lives in the, is very much not accepting, wants it to be like a certain very specific way. Like one of those people that would say the good old days. Yeah, when less people, less civil rights, not so good. And this secret is across from a King of Cups. It could be a male figure in her family. I tend to think it is talking about her father, because there is the Emperor and there is this domineering type of energy. Either he had trouble to speak up for himself, or he did more than speak up for himself. And there was issues. Definitely see that. But I feel like lives in the past over this. Still very much has her head and her heart in there. This is her opinion. She's got to be the winner. That losing, quote unquote, is not an option. So she comes on like a 747 trying to make a landing. She comes on too heavy, too cold, too where it's ego. And this is that she's very, very competitive, I think, is another reason why she struggles with relationships. I think she's definitely attracted to men, and I think part of the rub is that she is in competition with them as well. And it can end up rubbing them the wrong way, really making them uncomfortable. Because again, she's patterning herself, it looks like, after a father. Meditation. What is in the environment is the Knight of Pentacles. It is very dutiful, studious. I think her children, I think she has them on a very, I just feel like it carries over into that. She's very dutiful, very loyal. She demands loyalty. But I feel like she might treat her people that get into a relationship with her as inferior, because this is a knight. She's not treating, and I have been asking about relationships, she's not treating them anywhere near what she's thinking of herself as the emperor. So there is not equality, not at all, with her when it comes to relationship. She wants to be the dominant one, and things will revolve around her. Hopes and fears, I think she fears cutting people, cutting them away from herself, being too, what's the word? Harsh and logical, and not, not ever really loving, not ever really opening up her heart, just always with the mind. Because she is very, very much a woman who is in her head, and her head is in the past, and the rest of this is just whining, why can't it be like it was? And it wasn't that great, and here's some of those secrets. She's also afraid of people cutting her off. I think she's afraid of family cutting her out of their lives. Certainly, once her children get to be adults, that's a concern for her, or will be, quite possibly. Unless maybe they're just like her. I can see that she's got her family patterned after her, the way her father patterned her own family. I don't get the Empress. Two of Swords. I see that she refrains. Again, she pushes people away. People find it very hard to get close to her that she's had relationships with. She does not let them, she's afraid to be vulnerable because she's patterned herself after this old fart. Yeah, I know that sounds mean, but it's what she's, if you're going to pattern yourself after somebody that's much warmer, that can engage with human beings in a warm and meaningful way. I don't get any real warmth here with her. I feel like she is so got walls up, and she is so guarded. She doesn't really let people in at all. Now, I can appreciate that to a degree, but you will never have a meaningful experience if you don't make yourself a little bit vulnerable. And she's just like, nope, not willing to do it. And there's a block where relationships are concerned. And I feel like people just don't find her approachable. The Lovers, it's a choice. And here it's a matter of choice. Their choice and her choice. Maybe she's like, and they don't meet my level of expectation. They're not like my dad. They can't measure up. Yeah, it's very oppressive. I think she's very lonely. Very, very lonely as a result. The Ten of Wands. It's a burden. It's not just a bother, it's a burden. Extremely heavy. I think she finds relationships really difficult. And I think maybe with her children, she's a little bit less guarded, but no, this woman is really closed up. Doesn't let, I don't think, anybody get too close. Barriers, yeah. Self-imposed with the Eight of Swords. She's stuck as a king in this King of Wands. I just think that she's stuck because she wants to do it all her own way and have everything her own way. I believe that's her. And this could have been a person that was attracted to her, but I think she keeps people at an arm's length. And they're never going to get very close to her. She lives in the past, and she's not very warm. Despite the fact that she can appear as being charismatic or sparkly to some people, I can't. To me, that's just a facade of sparkle. She doesn't really care. There's disassociation. She isn't really connected. That's why she can say the things that she does, feel and have the quote-unquote feelings that she does, because she doesn't really feel. She's not very connected. I'm shown a disconnect. She doesn't know I feel like she's patterned herself after her dad so much that she's kind of awkward with figuring out herself as a woman. There's this sense of detachment from it, from action and from like knowing herself. And there's that restriction with the Eight of Swords we have now. We have the Eight of Wands. Well, now this is action, swiftness, as being a fool and taking big gambles. I think she has a real identity crisis, actually, with understanding and respecting women. And she says she respects women, but I don't think she really does. I think she's patterned herself after a father that didn't really, and thought that the only women that were worthy of respect were ones that acted more like a man and did what, so she's not as empowered as she thinks she is. She's just acting like a cold male, and it's very lonely for her, and I see her having difficulty in ever getting very close to anyone. And I don't see marriage in the picture for her. I don't see her maybe even wanting to. She just wants to call too much of it all on her own shots. All right? Now I want to look and see if she's ever going to, how her job looks like at Fox, and what is her future career-wise. Would like to know what Laura Ingraham's future is career-wise. Will it be affected by her extreme points of view, by her extreme terrorist type of exhortations to people, and giving them false information, and stirring up hatred? Laura Ingraham, because she is a stirrer. Will she ever pay the price? Firstly, will she ever pay the price? Will Laura Ingraham ever really pay the price for all the damage that she has caused other people by false accusations, ugly, mean comments that have no basis in the truth, or that are just salacious and petty and really ugly? Will that ever end up affecting her? Will she ever notice, like, just realize? This is the card that wanted to come out, the King of Cups. Now that was the card that came out in her past and was next to her father, or the father card. Okay, will she ever appreciate the fact that how she's acted has been messed up? I'm getting not in this lifetime, but, you know, obviously it'll be evident to her eventually after she's passed, but I don't think it will happen. But what I really want to know is there's some kind of also result that affects her career, even if she doesn't change her mind. She is covered by the Magician, and this is manipulation. She likes to be the one that is in charge. She likes being the one. Again, singular. She does not want another adult to vie for control. Okay. And she creates her own universe. She creates her own truth. These stories and supposed intentions that she's on to people, all of that is right here, and it starts with her. So with regard to that, it will show, we're shown she's manipulative, and she's quite possibly not quite possibly. She's definitely abused her platform in responsibility of giving false information and misdirecting people. What she's crossed by is the Seven of Pentacles. And this, for her, what is challenging is going to be to have to make any alteration to her life, to get real about it, and have a change of opinion. She thinks she's so used to having this privilege and being able to manipulate that she would be at a loss without being able to do so. Very challenging, but she may have that coming. Yeah, the Judgment card is the basis of the reading, and that is what I was talking about. How will she be judged, basically? Will that affect her career? So it looks like yes. Her past behavior will dictate what has an effect. And especially through communications, also, she is in communications, so it's interesting that we get the magician, the communicator, who can communicate warped ideas or the truth, depending on where they're at. She's crowned by secrets, the High Priestess. I think she has secrets. Now this makes me wonder, has she blackmailed people? Or is she being blackmailed by people? There are secrets. Oh no, it's stuff that she's done at work throughout her career. Okay. And in the recent past, the Cups, relationships, things that she's said to people that she's been in relationships with, coming back to haunt her. Now we all know that she's, any given day, said a mountain of rubbish that's offensive and should amount for something. But because with the place that she's working at, they want people to talk like that, apparently. They want people to misinform. They're not even listed as a real news source at Fox. They're no more a news source than I'm a news source. I'm an even better news source than they are. I'm not going to say the sky is other than the sky. That's, not much of a bar, frankly. I mean, but anyway. We have the Knight of Pentacles. I think that she'll have work there for a while yet at Fox into the near future, because she's dutiful to towing their damaged rubbish, their secrets. But it will come back on her. And we're being warned of that here. It's just a matter of time. And it's going to send her for a loop when it does. Her way of thinking and what's in her mind, the Knight of Cups. This is trust. I think she's trusting people that she's been in relationships with in the past. Maybe not to divulge things, for sure. And she's kind of ignored, I feel like, the appeal of people. She may have broken trust with people as well. But this is to do with approach. This has to do with offerings, things that one has said or proposed to do or say, to act. And it's when she's had an unguarded, I think, moment. This is going to come out, something it looks like. That, I mean, her audience has no integrity, so I'm just looking for where it's going to matter. But I'm thinking like how it would matter is if she were taken to court, and hit in the legally and in her pocketbook and her career. Well, here we have the Hierophant, the teacher in the environment. The teacher, what does the teacher do? The teacher's supposed to teach facts, the truth. Maybe somebody somewhere is going to hold her accountable in the future, a little further down the line, for slander or lies that she's put out there. Because this is holding somebody to the rules, the law. You cannot do that. Maybe being finally held in some manner of account. Hopes and fears that she has is the Nine of Wands. She hopes that she can survive it. If somebody comes out with damaging things, she's hoping that she can endure. This is also fear, I think, of being accused of being abusive, mentally, verbally abusive. I think she has been and is belittling, as I said, condescending in the earlier reading, just to do with her relationships. So there could be somebody that might come out and say that about her, but still, it's like that woman's pretty hard. I don't think that that's gonna break my heart, But it would have to hit her where it matters, and that would be to affect her income, her career, and her societal visibility, because that is her power to sway. She gets defeat with the Five of Swords. This is interesting. We are given the Mars sign. Her Mars is in Virgo. This is in Scorpio. I think that's the Scorpion, sign of Scorpio down there. So she has the Five of Swords as an end result. And that is defeat. It is why she's a bully. That's that bully energy. I don't think she's ever going to stop. I think somebody may come out and accuse her of that. That has known her. They will hold her to account. Quite possibly a young person, a young adult with that Knight of Pentacles in the future, in the near future. It could be one of her children when they get older, coming forward and saying, our life was difficult with her. No parent is perfect, but I think they'll have some certain feelings I do feel like a young person with that, somebody that's tried to be obedient, perhaps, even to her. I think that there's some disappointment there with them. That would actually, I think, work her up to say something really mean. But I think that I'm seeing a younger person coming forward saying that they felt like you could not win with her. Very harsh, verbally abusive. And with the 9 of Wands, that's somebody that's been abused, typically, or endured an ordeal. And it can be where their head is kind of an upper body is a focal point of damage. That can be verbal abuse. It can be somebody is smacking them around. But it is detrimental to their self-esteem, to the way they mentally think about themselves. It can be a real issue. And I think that is something that could yet occur with her within her family. She's not going to like that. Couple of extra cards, yeah. Again, I feel like this could be a child that is going towards becoming an adult, maybe, with that Fool card, and fighting with the Knight of Swords. Yeah. I feel like she's going to have some issues that are going to affect her work, because it's, I believe, probably family-based. It looks like a young adult, like I'm saying, and that can be somebody even up to the age of 35. But somebody coming forward with where they're at a time in their lives where they are beginning a new cycle. And with that youth there, it makes me feel like this is a young person that's becoming more independent and less under, somebody else's, in this case, Laura's influence. She always needed to win. This is the topic of needing accolades, needing to be told that they're right, needing to, to also very competitive. Yes, and here we go with that again. Very competitive. Making people confront it, confrontational. And somebody that's manipulative, like we got with a magician that tries to steer the narrative. She is not a pleasant person. She never developed much warmth. Well, that's enough on her. But I think that she's going to see at least one of her children come forward publicly about their childhood with her. That's my prediction. Okay, I guess I will see you guys in about 15 minutes with the live. If you like this content, please do like and subscribe. Make sure that you're still subscribed, because YouTube likes to sometimes unsubscribe people. They're buggy. So check and make sure that you are. And I thank you so much. Please hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.